Hey, shalom, shalom. Before I get started, as always, I want to give all praise to our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bracha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, and salutations and blessings to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four winds of the earth. Right? This will be a prophecy WW3 update. Now we know what's going on in Russia, Ukraine, right? We know the standoff that they're having, the Russians against the soon to be against all of NATO. But I came across this this video, which I'm gonna play, and now Russia. I'm sorry. Now Iran is in the talks. All right, Iran is in the talks of helping Russia in their conflict over there in Ukraine. And this is the country we need to be involved, because as we know, according to the scriptures, Iran, or Persia, as the scriptures refer to them as, Persia has to be, they have to be involved. All right, and that's pursuant to the book of Joel. Second chapter, either Joel 2, Joel 3, all right, and of course Ezekiel 38, all right. So now they're in the talks. They're not really saying nothing, which I haven't seen, but every time I've heard Iran in the talks, it's been on this news network that I'm about to play, which is at WION, the Gravitas, or Gravitas, however they pronounce it. It's a foreign news channel, but they actually speak English. I believe it's based out of East India, if I'm not mistaken. The people of Elam, or the Persians, as we speaking about. All right. Which indicates that this thing, the Lord is getting ready to wrap this thing up. All right, He's setting the stage, and He's bringing all these nations together, and He's having the allies of Babylon the Great turn on them. Case in point, the Saudis. They've been an ally to the U.S. for the longest, but now they're talking about they're getting ready to join BRICS. All right, so the Lord is setting that stage, and this World War III is gonna jump off. The issuing of the MOTB is gonna jump off. The pestilence that walketh in darkness is gonna jump off. Famine is gonna jump off. Wars in the streets of America will jump off. Violence like we've never seen is gonna jump off. All right, we're getting ready to truly witness Order Abkeo, all right, which the author of Order Abkeo is Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. He's the true author of it. All right, because these Edomites, they think they're gonna bring Order Abkeo, but the order is gonna come out of the chaos they bring. But the order is not going to be the order that they want. All right, the order is going to be Yahweh Shai in the power seat with his elect. That's going to be the order that's going to be established after all this chaos and destruction takes place on the planet Earth. All right. So without any further ado, we're going to listen to this. The whole clip is about 7 minutes and some change. I don't know if we'll listen to it all because it's all based upon the U.S. is making claims that Iran is helping Russia, which is what? That's them creating this propaganda, this to justify them to go in Iran and to deem Iran, you know, an enemy to the public, so that they can, you know, justify themselves in thinking they're gonna take over the world. But when they go in Iran, when they try Iran, that's when the Lord is gonna get them. All right, that's when it's gonna be checkmate, and it's gonna be on until Yahweh Shai returns. That's when it's gonna go down fully. All right, and we on the brink of it. Okay, so let me play this, and then of course we're gonna get the scriptures.
Let's move on now and ask the question which everyone is. Did Iran help Russia in striking Ukraine? Or did Iran not help Russia? For starters, here's what the United States has to say.
We assess that Iranian military personnel were on the ground in Crimea and assisted Russia in these operations. Russia has received dozens of these UAVs so far and will likely continue to receive additional shipments in the future.
Now, like you heard, the US is alleging that not only did Iran help the Russian military in operating Iranian drones, but also that the Iranian military was out on the ground in Crimea, helping the Russians firsthand. This is the latest development in a story that began with Ukraine's allegation that Kiev was struck by Iran-made kamikaze drones. Russia denied, as did Iran. And then reports said that Iran will be selling more drones to Russia, also missiles.
See that? Russia's denying it, and Iran is denying it. All right? But America is totally poking at that bear and them Persians. All right? No longer is Babylon the Great the what you want to call it, the big man on the block, so to speak. Okay? These other nations are collabing with one another. All right? Dumping the petrodollar. And ultimately, the Lord is bringing them together to bring about his purpose and his will in the earth, which ultimately is for all of these nations, beginning with Russia, to shoot missiles on this place and destroy it. Now from there, let's get a quick scripture. We're going going straight to the point, all right? This is Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. We're going to go there, all right? Because now we're seeing Persia in the mix. Or the U.S. is allegedly claiming that they're helping the Russians. Okay? And this is because the U.S. wants to take over Iran too, because they don't have a central bank there. All right? They don't control the money of those people. Okay? And this is the goal of the elite bankers. They want the elite bankers, or the elite bankers want to have control over every aspect of the planet Earth. All right? Which they don't even realize they're getting ready to get their ass whooped by Yahweh Shai. All right? And it's beginning with all the nations gonna come up against this goddamn devil. All right? So this is Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, starting at the 4th verse. It says, and I will turn thee back. This is talking about Gog and Magog, or Russia today. And we've seen the Heavenly Father has done that. That part of the prophecy is fulfilled. This is why you had Putin and his war commander, General Armageddon. You got his other, I think it's his defense secretary, if I'm not mistaken, Medvedev or Medvedev, if I'm not saying it correctly. I believe it's Medvedev. He came out and said that they'll melt the concrete in America. All right. Putin said that if there's no Russia, there will be no world. Okay, so they're back in that state of going back to the USSR. All right. They're back to that. They're back to that pre-World War II Russia. And they have even better weapons. All right. More powerful weapons. Okay. So going back, it says Ezekiel 38:4 says, and I will bring thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth. And they're brought forth. This is why they're in the mainstream media. All right. Russia this, Russia that. The verge of nuclear war with Russia. You know, all these different headlines. Putin this and Putin that. All right. It says, in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, okay, this is verse 5. Persia, which is Iran, Ethiopia and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. And this is what you're going to see. Now we're hearing about Persia, all right, which is Iran. Now they're in the mix. They're being accused of helping Russia. Well, the scriptures is telling you they're going to be together, all right? And this is going to be the assault and attack upon Babylon the Great. All these nations, okay? Persia being a key nation, all right? Because this is where Joel is going to come in, all right? Where the Lord is going to remove the northern army and place them over there to go into Iran, all right? Verse 6, it says, Gomer and all his bands, which is Turkey, the house of Togomar, of the north quarters, that's all that region of Turkey, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled, Salakia, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. All right? So Russia's the big dog of the earth right now. All right? And all these other nations are trying to join BRICS. All right? Which was an establishment of Russia in China. All right? To create their own money system. Excuse me, for global trading. All right? That's a currency that's actually has substance to it. Okay? So we here. We see it playing out. Now let's go back to that video.
There is a defense deal in place between the two countries, and now you have this. Listen.
We're concerned that Russia may also seek to acquire advanced conventional weapons from Iran. That includes potentially surface-to-air missiles that will almost certainly be used to support Russia's war against Ukraine.
So there is clearly a new alliance at play here, Iran and Russia. Iran had not voted in favor of Russia in the March 2nd UN resolution, remember that? Only Belarus, North Korea, Syria and Eritrea had. But now Iran seems to be actively helping Russia on ground. There are numerous implications. We have been telling you what this means for Israel, which of course is Iran's arch rival, and may now be forced to pick sides. But let's take a look at it.
And like I said, all right, them little hats, they surrounded over there. All right, the scriptures say, I have made these small among the heathen. You heard it mention the Israelis. The 1948 is the little hat people. All right, and it's gonna be the Israelis that's gonna bring it, that's gonna make it happen. All right, they're gonna do something which is gonna force the hand, so to speak. Scriptures say the least of the flock shall draw them out, and they're the least. All right, but they run everything. They're the first of the nations, Amalek. All right. So as you just heard, Russia and Iran are forming an alliance. All right, lining right up with the scriptures, man. Okay, we are living in the time of the destruction of Babylon the Great. All right, we're witnessing it in real time. Okay, in real time, all this is happening. Okay, let's get Jeremiah real quick. And this is beautiful, man, to see these things come to pass. All right, let's go to Jeremiah 50. Okay. Because ultimately what the Lord is going to do, he's going to destroy Babylon the Great, and he's going to use them same nations that's creating alliances with one another. All right. And there's nothing, there's nothing America can do about it. All right. None of America's allies can do about it, because even the allies of America are going to turn on this place. Okay. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 9. It says, "For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country." All right, and we're starting to see these alliances. That north country is talking about Russia. All right, and all the assemblies of the nations that's going to be with them. We listening to an actual news clip of this actually taking place. The Lord is assembling these nations. Saudi Arabia is getting ready to be assembled with them. Okay? It says, "And they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain." And that's talking about when the nuclear missiles start to fly. All right. Majority of nations on the earth that have that capability, okay, they're gonna shoot those nuclear missiles upon Babylon the Great and the land of Israel will be hit. All right, but majority is gonna land right over here in Babylon the Great. Okay, it says verse 10, "And the Chaldee shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord." All right, and that's what's gonna happen to America, because this place is ripe for the picking. All the wickedness that it has done on the planet Earth. All right, just like all the other nations prior to America being established. What did the Most High do? He allowed their iniquity to come to a full before he took them out. And America's iniquity is above full. It's running over the cup. All right, and the only reason they haven't been taken completely out yet is because the prophecies have to be fulfilled. All right, and the elect 100% sealed, and we closer than ever. All right, because we starting to see these things as we listening to. Okay, we're starting to see these things come to the forefront. Okay. Now let's get back to this video. First, let me cue up this scripture. Okay. Salakia, bear with me a second. It's in two places, so we'll get that. But let's listen to some more of this. Right? Real-time Bible prophecy happening.
Look at another aspect tonight. What does all of this mean for Iran? What does Iran stand to gain by supporting Russia? But before that, we must first look at what's happening in Iran. 1. Iran remains one of the world's heavily sanctioned countries. 2. The West was hoping that Iran returns to the talking table on the nuclear deal. You know, the one it signed with 6 world powers back in 2015. 3. Iran is already in the middle of turbulence. We have been telling you about the protests, the ongoing protests that have rocked the country, following the death of a young woman, Mahsa Amini, who was arrested by the country's morality police for so-called inappropriate clothing.
Which I believe that's a coup. All right, I believe that was a staged coup by the U.S. All right, and now they're telling the public they believe that Iran is helping Russia. All right, so they're planning their invasion. All right, they're planning and justifying themselves. All right, to tell the world this is why we gotta go into Iran. All right, they oppressing their people and they helping Russia in this war with Ukraine. All right, but this is gonna be where it's gonna flip on their ass. See, everybody sees the same old bullshit America has been doing for the past 200 years, okay, of their existence. They've always been in some war, okay, and every war that they are in, they created it. They created the boogeyman of these countries to justify them to go in there and taking over, putting in a puppet, and setting up a central bank. Okay? That's what it's always been about.
This is what Iran looks like right now. Just months ago, US officials were saying that there has been some progress on the nuclear deal front. And now, the US says that Iran's nuclear deal does not appear to be in the offing at all.
It's no secret that a deal does not appear imminent. A deal does not appear in the offing, at least not at the moment.
But you see, one can't help but ask, why is Iran becoming an accomplice in Russia's war? What's Iran to get out of this alliance?
It's for the Lord's purpose. All right? It tells us in Revelation, the 17th chapter, well, this is speaking about the allies of America, that he's going to put it in these nations' heart to fulfill his will. All right? That's why these nations are getting with Russia, because they're going to fulfill the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, which is to come against Babylon, as we just read in Jeremiah the 50th chapter. All right, and destroy it with their nuclear missiles. That's it. You hear them saying they gonna acquire these advanced drones, as well as surface-to-air missiles. This is what U.S. is concerned with. Okay?
Because the price surely is a stiff one. You see, the US is already talking about penalizing Iran for helping Russia. So we are looking at possible economic sanctions, even export controls. This Politico article quotes a US official as saying, "Are we going to do more about Iranian military sales to Russia? Absolutely yes. Because we are absolutely going to sanction anybody who is helping Iranians help Russians kill Ukrainians." I come back to my original question. What's in it for Iran? And should Israel be worried? So we put these questions to Lieutenant Colonel Daniel L. Davis. He's a defense expert. Listen in to his analysis.
Well, I think that Iran has a great deal to gain because they've been using a lot of these drones and building them, but they really haven't had a chance to see how they work in combat, certainly not on a large scale. And now that this also elevates their standing in the world because people are being seen all over the globe, how effective these things are, even with some of the air defense systems that the modern ones that Ukraine is using, they're getting through. And this has raised their stature, and certainly it's going to potentially open up another stream of revenue for Tehran, but others may want to buy them as well. Israel's in a very, very tough situation because they want to maintain relations with both Ukraine and Russia, and they don't want to put that at risk. Israel benefits from cooperation with Russia really on a large scale, and especially even in the region there in Syria, with Russia controlling a lot of the airspace over Syria where Israeli aircraft operate, sometimes against either the Syrian regime or against Hezbollah rebels in some of those areas, and they need the cooperation with Russia. So I think that's why you've seen them so far staying with just humanitarian aid, and of course in the relation with the Iranian drones there, that's a concern for them because they don't want to see the Iranian drone program advance and become more effective. But right now, there's really not a lot they can do about that.
And that's talking about Israel. See how the Most High is strategically making this thing happen, man? Call Halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man. We're getting ready to witness Edom's downfall. All right? The Most High is working all over the planet Earth to bring about the downfall of the nation of Edom. All right? The whole world is looking at this devil sideways. All right? The entire planet is looking at this man sideways, man. Even of his own kind. Okay? Let's read. All right, this is the book of Jeremiah, the 49th chapter, in the 15th verse. It says, "For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen," and that's Israel. Okay? He's over there amongst those different heathens, Persians, Ishmael, all right? Those darker nations that's over there surrounding his ass, all right? They're small in that region. And like you heard that dude say, they should be concerned, all right? Reading that again. "For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men." All right? We're witnessing the world look at these demons, these 1948ers, and everybody is starting to despise them because now the Lord is brought to the forefront using how they control and own everything, and they'll get your ass canceled. So everybody is seeing them, and everybody is starting to despise them. Okay? We talking about on a military government level, as well as down to just the citizens of the world level, especially here in the U.S. Okay? Verse 16, it says, thy terribleness have deceived thee. All right? They've been deceived, and now the Lord has lifted up the skirt on Edom. Okay? He's showing the world how low and base these demons are. Okay? Okay, he's gonna expose them all, and then he's gonna destroy them all. All right? That's what the Lord is doing. He says, thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Talking about you Edomites, because you're the real cave dwellers. Okay? That holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from hence, saith the Lord. And their nest as high as the eagle, all right, it's talking about their space stations, the technology that they have out in the heavens, the weaponry, all right? And they're going to be brought down, okay? It says, also Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss at the plagues thereof. And that's talking about when the Lord allows them, allows Edom, which Edom represents America in this sense, okay? Because like it says, it's going to be a total desolation. All right? Verse 18. All right? As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. So that's the future of this place. And we seeing the Lord bringing the nations together and stirring things up that these heathens are despised, and then they're gonna be destroyed. All right, and it's getting ready. It's gonna happen sooner than when we think. All right, we're seeing the Lord line up the chess pieces. All right. So we'll finish this video out, and that'll be it through the Spirit.
Meanwhile, in Russia, President Vladimir Putin was seen inspecting a training ground, even firing shots from a sniper rifle.
Well, that's pretty much it. You know, the point was Iran is in the talks now. Iran is in the talks, and the U.S. is claiming that they're helping Russia. They're building that propaganda, and this time, their little war tactics that they've been using, it won't work. All right? It won't work this time. This time, the bully is going to get his ass totally annihilated. So call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Lord will, this was edifying to the hopeful elect. On to the next video. Shalom.